I have another question here. I just want to know, like, have there been any documented cases where paddling had worse consequences due to the student being female?
Oh yeah, and right in line. First of all, girls who have been paddled during their cycle have been known to bleed another 2 weeks on some occasions.
Whoa.
Their menstrual cycle actually lasts longer because of the impact of the blows to their rear end.
So they're interrupting nature.
They're interrupting
They're interrupting
nature.
nature here, folks.
And who knows how many, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Who knows how many boys who have been paddled in the same manner cannot have children now as a result of having been paddled. So, I mean, those pipes are all down there.
They're down there, and you're right. And once you assume that adult position again, then you're exposing those parts to those pipes to this big wooden paddle, which I can see, Paula, can have an effect on the reproductive system.
Absolutely. I mean, you're pounding it. And sometimes they say only 3 blows, but I know Travis Jones told me he received 6 blows. And God knows if that kid will have children. I hope he does. But he is a young man in Robeson County.
I remember Travis.
You remember my friend Travis?
Yes.
And he complains that he has issues in his groin area since that paddling. Yeah.
Wow.
My friend Travis.
Yeah. And you know, when you think of paddling, these are some of the things that you don't think about. You know, and I know when I was coming up in school, in junior high school, probably that's when the paddling started for me, and you know, it would be like, okay, Tebow, you know, you get 5 swats here. I remember one principal, can I say his name?
Sure.
I remember one principal, Mr. Julian, you know, his whole thing was 5 swats, and he had this big wooden paddle, and it had these little holes in it, and
from slave days.
And his thing would
That's
be
where those holes come from.
assume the position,
Yeah.
which is an adult position.
Exactly. And a man beating another man. I mean, come on,
know,
Tebow, I know you told me you were about this size when you were in high school.
That's right, absolutely.
Picture that.
Picture that, you know, and that's incredible when you think of the reproductive system from little boys and little girls, you know, the effect that it's having.
Exactly. Now, I just want you to know that your daughter doesn't go to a school where paddling is allowed because she's in California.
Right.
Now, Now, I'm going to just show this booklet real quick. This booklet, Plain Talk About Spanking, written by Jordan Ryak. Jordan Ryak lives in Alamo, California, and he's the one that did the legislative writing for having corporal punishment banned in California.
I know Jordan.
And so you could tell Anovia she could thank Jordan for not having to go through what you did when you were a little boy.
That's right.
For a young man.
And Anovia actually met Jordan.
Yes, she met him.
She met Jordan.
She met him.
Yes.
So getting back to Title IX, recently, if you look in the news, you'll find that, I think it was just last week, a young lady was paddled. She's pregnant. Pregnant and paddled, okay? So we are talking about, let's just talk about what happens. Travis may not have children because he was paddled. We don't know, but that's something to investigate, especially since he's complaining about discomfort down there.
He's complaining, yeah.
Yeah, there's a problem down there. So that means that whatever he did that day in school may affect his being a father or not. Could you imagine that? Now, what is so annoying, Tebow, is in the newspaper they say Travis, who had gotten in trouble. Travis didn't get in any trouble. Travis was playing a game with a little boy, and the boy lost, and Chris Britt, the one who beat him, used that as an excuse to abuse him. He didn't get in any trouble. He was a good boy. Since the paddling, Travis has been...
So that's why he got paddled.
He got paddled because this little boy and they were playing a game, and the boy lost, and the boy cried because he lost the game.
Right.
And as a result, the principal and the teacher at that time, Chris Britt, he has been raised up to be assistant principal at this time now. As a result of that paddle, he was then raised up a higher position. He's assistant principal in a Robeson school now.
Okay.
Yeah, could you picture that one, okay?
All right.
And Travis, anyway, I'll get back to that later.
Yeah, but he got rewarded.
He got rewarded, basically, because in North Carolina, teachers are rewarded for paddling. In fact, North Carolina is one of the magnet states for people who like to paddle. That's a fact. Okay, so, but let me just back up. The thing, too, is that Travis may not have children. We don't know, but it needs to be investigated. This other young lady was paddled. Her menstrual cycle lasted an extra 2 weeks. And there is a link I'll give you at the end where you can read about that actual incident that had occurred. And I've also heard more than that one story about that happening.
Yeah, you were talking about the little girl that was pregnant.
Yeah, that was about a week ago. A girl was paddled who was pregnant. And that's not even the only story. I mean, I'm mentioning a few, but these stories are out there. So knowing that this is going on, why do we continue paddling? And then I want to also, let me see, I want to read off some information for people who want to actually do something. I'm hoping many of you by now are outraged. And
people need to notice, folks. You need to notice. So listen up, man. Listen up.
Well, first of all, if you want to know what you can do about this violation of Title IX in your school, contact and advise your school's Title IX coordinator, which every school is required to have. Excuse me. The Title IX coordinator for Robeson County is Mr. Walter Jackson. His number is 910-735-2231, or you could email him at jacksonw.psrc@robson.k12.nc.us, and I will make sure you can get that off of my website. Also, you can file a complaint also with the Office of Civil Rights. For instructions, call OCR at 1-800-421-3481, or go to U.S. Department of Education's website, and I will have that posted also. So, who can make a Title IX complaint? A complaint of discrimination can be filed by anyone who believes that an education institution that receives federal financial assistance has discriminated against someone on the basis of race, color, national origin, sex, disability, or age. The person or organization filing the complaint need not be a victim of the alleged discrimination, but may complain on behalf of another person or group. Now, T-Bo, I want to tell you, I want to give everyone another visual, okay?
Okay.
Now, first of all, a lot of people have different reasons why they think we should have corporal punishment. Some people say, well, it's cultural, and everybody needs to mind their own business. And if people want to paddle, they'll paddle, okay? Some people say that for religious reasons, the Bible says beat your child, which we can have that discussion on another day.
That's a big discussion.
That's a big discussion. Yeah. And they say, well, the fundamentalists want it, or the Republicans.
Spare the rod, spoil the
child. Spoil the child, right.
And
we got to first define rod, and then we could move on with that conversation. But then the other thing is, and they also say, well, the Republicans want it, or this group wants it. They have all these reasons for keeping corporal punishment. But I want everybody to think about this for a minute. Let's just visualize a phenomenon that the only children who tend to be paddled are little white, curly, blonde-haired little girls. They just seem to be the only ones that get paddled. Let's just get that visual for a minute. And let's also get this visual that the only people who like to paddle, who will paddle, are black men.
Paddling these little
white, curly-haired, blonde girls.
Wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't happen. And so my point is that people try to say, keep paddling because of culture, keep paddling because it works, keep paddling because the Republicans want it, the fundamentalists want it, the parents want it, the neighbors want it, the teachers want it, the principals want it. Let's say all of these people are saying this is why we ought to keep paddling. But the minute we visualize the only people being paddled are little white, curly-haired, cute little darling girls, and the perpetrators, or the paddlers, are black men, tall, dark-skinned, just black men. that they're the only ones doing the paddling, all of a sudden